So about 10 months ago, I dropped a video where I set out with one goal, and that was to recreate Batman's entire workout from Batman v Superman. And since then, I've done Daredevil, Deathstroke, and even Green Arrow. So around Halloween time, more specifically,
Thursday, October 31st.
I thought that it was long overdue, that I finally become the Dark Knight himself in real life. I'm going to have to complete his training, create his gadgets, hit these rooftops, and even, yes, hit the sewers to locate and investigate an abandoned building hidden deep within a forest. Because I'm fully determined to become the Batman, and that requires a very eventful return to Arkham. And yes, I say return because you guys will be able to witness the full documentation of my first trip to Arkham included with this one, where I had to make a daring escape from GCPD. So I think it's time for the Dark Knight to rise again. I completely botched this mask trying to do a Wolverine cosplay. But anyway, I made a community post just last week about this upcoming video, and some of you guys are funny as hell. Like, some of these comments say, Black Man begins. You are Black Man. Rise of the Dark Man. The Black Man rises. The Black Knight. These are just to name a few. I actually couldn't stop laughing. So 3 things in particular that we're gonna be mostly focusing on. Strength, gadget crafting, and parkour/agility. Now, all 3 of these things are important if you even think of hitting these streets. So for the gadgets, let me check on my super prosperous bank account. Oh shit. Well, since Bruce Wayne is a legit billionaire and I seem to have some bankruptcy issues, we're gonna have to take a bit more of an absolute approach for this one. Now, the new Absolute Batman run just dropped, and I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kinda gas. I mean, bro was only born a year before me, he also broke his shit, he also an engineering major. I mean, what's not to appreciate here? He's literally me for real, like. So the main gadgets I want to create this video are Batarangs, Gauntlets, and get my hands on a Zipline. So here I managed to make a workout plan inspired by both the comics and the media. Dumbbell bench press, deadlift, weighted pull-ups, tire pulls, upside down plate hold, clean and jerk, and tire slings. So while I work on this, why don't we go get started on the Batarangs? First, I'll need some metal to make these out of, and thankfully enough, for a small fee of $10, Lowe's sells 16 gauge steel with dimensions of 18 inches long and 6 inches wide, which is all I need to create about 4 of these things. Next, I needed to create a design. I scoured the internet and I really wanted to make a hybrid that lied somewhere between the Dark Knight logo and the Batman vs Superman logo. So I found the Red Hood's logo from Arkham Knight and repurposed it to create our Batarang model. So now it was time for the tracing and cutting part. I needed to divide the steel into 4 parts and then begin tracing out the metal with the Batarang outline. A fun 10 minutes later, I already had completed one. So now it was a matter of tracing this one onto the other metal surfaces, and now we had created 4. Finally, I sharpened the edges with the angle grinder, and now we have achieved Gadget 1 Batarangs. Now before I go test these, let's see how the Bat Family training session is. I managed to find a couple homeless kids. Now see, I gotta become the Bat of Chicago. Now you see, Chicago's under attack by none other than King Von, so I had to assemble some recruits. We got Alfred. We got Gray Matter, D1 acrobat, he could do flips on it and everything.
King Fon's dead, bro.
Fuck. Alright guys, NBA Youngboy is back out here on these streets. Only 3 men can defend BR. We got Alfred. So just like Batman from Batman v Superman, he was doing some tire pulls. So what better way to start off these trials than with some tire pulls? Bro, this is why Alfred the GOAT, bro. Like, alright, come on, King Gray Matter. Come on. Damn. Hey, come on, bro. Bro, this is why whenever she sent you the video, she giggled when she slipped it back in. Bro, look at that, bro. Now, in my previous video, I did this using strictly a 200-pound tire. But as I promised, this video aims to up the stakes. So this time, not only are we going to be doing tire pulls, we're going to increase the weight each time. First, we'll be with 200 pounds, then 250, and then lastly, 300 pounds. So let's see how the Temu Bat Family fares against these odds. Run that, bro, Dick! He's selling this shit anyway. Oh, fuck. My hip. Come on, dude. This is why your parents died at the circus. They were clowns. Attaboy. No, honestly, yeah, we'll give you a partial. We'll give you partial credit. every night. Yes, I do. Bro, do you know the amount of BBWs I had to beat, bro? They all weigh this much. Just pull it, bro. Remember when my parents died? Go. Bro, did it. Come on.
Nigga, this is 300 pounds.
And?
What is my body weight?
That's like, it's the same! Bro, Alfred put in more work than you, bro.
Look at how big Alfred is, bro.
No, Alfred, we're a family, bro. Let's grab it in, bro. Grab it in. Come on, let's help Dick stroke this. Yeah, there we go. Oh, shit. Power of family, guys! So that went pretty well, more or less. But it looks like only me and Alfred will be qualifying to hit the streets. I'm afraid to take Dick Gray Matter out. He might really get messed up by these goons. So the next workout on the list that we're going to be knocking out are weighted pull-ups. Now in the movie, Bruce Wayne was doing this with 180 pounds strapped to his meat. So let's see if I and the rest of the Bat family can fare against this trial. Alfred, what is that? Oh, Alfred. Oh, okay. Okay. Come on, just pull up! Bro, what are you, up!
It's not happening, bro.
What are you? Fuck. Ah! Hey, yo, grab this weight drop, my boy. Yeah, Dick Gray Matter's getting taken back to the orphanage. But pull-ups, done. So let's take a break and go see how these Batarangs came out. So I'm gonna test these further later, only because I plan to use these in conjunction with another gadget I'm going to create, and that is the Zipline. So all I would need for this is a pulley, which I already had, and some kind of cable or rope. So I checked Amazon for a pretty strong roach, and I found that it could support something about 600 pounds for only $6. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, and you're probably correct. Why would anyone entrust their lives in a $6 rope? So I think it's only appropriate to show you guys how that ended. So I needed to find 2 points to connect this rope to, and thankfully there were 2 fully developed trees out in my front yard for me to use. So after climbing a tree and setting everything up, it was time to test what I like to call a Zipline beta. Oh shit!
You need more attention.
I was kind of holding on to it for a solid minute there. Yeah. Hello, that low-key kind of worked. Okay. So at this point, I thought that we could make this work. I mean, I traveled some type of distance, but I was trying to look for a higher point due to the amount that I was dipping to the ground. You know what we do need? We need height. I needed to get much higher. So, pause. I didn't actually record the bit where I ended up attempting the chimney, so I'm just gonna show you the aftermath. I just tried to zipline from that chimney. We didn't capture it, but bro, this shit fucking broke. This was a $6 rope. I should have known better. Guys, don't trust Temu. They're gonna kill you. Fuck these Temu ass ropes trying to kill me. They want Batman to die on year 0. That's not gonna happen. So after doing some research, I found out that zip lines are made using metal cable. So steel, aluminum, anything on the list above. That might have been common sense. I did not think about that. Actually, no, I was trying to go as cheap as possible. So I probably knew that, I just didn't care. So going back to Amazon, I found a 100-foot steel cable for a small fee of $40. So while I ordered that and waited for it to arrive, I think we should get back to the next part of our Batman strength training. So I found this panel of Batman hanging upside down, holding 4 plates in his hands, and I was really tempted to try that. So I had Alfred and Dick Gray Matter hand me off a plate at a time until I achieved 180 pounds. Now it's time to see some magic. What? Come on, hurry up. 3 plates. Oh, man.
Bar was bending, bro. I got scared.
Damn! I'm absolute, guys. Alfred, replace that bent-ass bar for me. You should pan to the bar. I'm not gonna lie, you know you did something right when the bar is actually weaker than you are. Next, according to Batman's training catalog, he also incorporates power cleans into his workout routine, as well as deadlifts. So last time I did power cleans for the Green Arrow video, I was able to do 185 pounds. Now, considering I don't power clean much, I wanted to see if I could actually still do that. Power cleans, check. 185 isn't that bad. I'm low-key pretty content with it. So next, let me try to attack normal deadlifts. Here I started with 225 pounds and worked my way all the way up to 405 pounds. So I think here we have a pretty solid deadlift to work out if I do say so myself. And of course, you cannot be Batman without knowing how to whoop some ass.
The freaking man!
So let's return to our zipline status. My 100-foot cable had finally arrived, so now it was time to set this thing up properly now. I'm gonna have to tap into my inner Native American, Connor from AC3, to get it looped up there. Holding it tight as hell to reduce any slack this thing might have. Yes. 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 Oh, every day we lit, bro. Every day we lit. Okay. So now it was the moment of truth.
That nigga is entrusting his life into that tree branch, bro.
Get this shot. This shit about to be epic. Do you guys remember that one scene from Spider-Man 1?
Tally ho.
Guys, I freaking did it. I unlocked the zipline. So since that went pretty well, I wanted to test how effective a zipline kick would be.
The freaking man!
Like, just imagine it's Valentine's Day and you're sitting there talking to your girl, or maybe just even your crush, and some dude in the most A-train way possible comes out of nowhere with a fucking zip line and zip kicks the fuck out of you and your girl. Like, bruh. Not that I'm giving anyone any ideas for Valentine's Day. I would never openly say that. I think it's time to test out both of the gadgets we have created simultaneously. Let's run it. Zipline and Batarangs have proven to be quite successful. Now it's time to create his gauntlets. Now before we get to that, we need to finish our strength training. Now, just like the movie, I want to finish it off with both dumbbell bench presses for max reps and tire slams. All right, you need to focus on the dumbbell.
That Asian chick, bro. Remember that one Hispanic girl that didn't talk to you, bro?
So a couple years back, I had made some of these gadgets before. Batarangs, and I pretty much made his gauntlets. Since then, I have repurposed both of them for the Deathstroke suit that I had made, putting one of the carbon steel Batarangs in the chest area for the most protection.
This is for those who know!
And even modding the gauntlets themselves. So I refurbished these things to bring them back to a usable state. And when it's all assembled, shit does kind of look clean as hell. I'm not gonna lie to you. So let's go take these to the field. So I'm gonna have Mike just hit me with a random barrage of shit. Let's see if we survive. This is pussy shit. I'm getting the sword. I'm gonna entrust you to hit me with Excalibur here. Go like as hard as possible. Don't cut my fucking hand off. Okay. Okay, this shit's low key. Yo, you're bending the fucking guys. Okay. Okay. Okay.
I think with the sword right here, hit him with this
And
part.
look at what happened to my forearms. Sword versus gauntlet. All right, Gadget 2. I give it a A minus.
Yeah,
B minus, B plus. Yeah, A minus. So the gauntlets were able to sustain a sword coming down directly on it. And it granted me full protection. Didn't even feel a thing. Now, all that's left to do is train my parkour and agility. So before I go hit these streets, I need to warm up and make sure that I have some decent acrobatic parkour ability up my sleeve already. Do it, yup. Okay guys, enough games. I think it's time to take all these skills that I have acquired and take them to the streets of Gotham. But first, I was going to need a suit. Now, I always appreciate whenever superheroes have the most ghetto starter outfits ever. Daredevil goes around in a compression shirt and a do-rag and whoops ass. Spider-Man went out in a beanie and a jacket and whooped ass. Batman pressed a cop with a shiesty on, bro. And he also tried getting into a fight with the beanie on too. So I put together something of my own. I call this fit Year 1. Mixed with a compression shirt, a shiesty, cargo pants, steel-toed boots, and hard-knuckle gloves. Let's do it. So now that we've completed our training, hit the streets, I think it's time that you guys witness my full return to Arkham. Bro, that ending was actually pretty crazy. How much of it was true? Like 94.6%. And did I actually manage to successfully evade and outrun the authorities? I guess we'll never know. But that was actually on the crazier side of things I've probably ever done. Here's a word of advice. Don't go into abandoned buildings at 1:30 a.m. on Halloween. You might get met by an inmate. And definitely probably don't go alone at night especially. Because that night actually inspired this entire video. Which is why it was hilarious that whenever I went back, I saw a giant ass question mark. We almost actually shat ourselves when we saw the security and then we heard the sirens. We knew the jig was probably gonna be up. But yeah guys, don't forget to drop a like on this video. It took me 2 weeks to make 5 days to edit. The support would always be greatly appreciated, but I think it's more than safe to say I have become the Batman.